Alright, so another concern that Henry has on this bike is that the vacuum petcock may not be functioning as it should. We're pretty good about shutting our petcocks off when we park, but this is kind of a redundant system. It actually does have an off-on and reserve, as you normally would, but it also has this diaphragm here, and it has a hose that goes back here to the cylinder, so that cylinder vacuum will open that and let it release the fuel. Whereas if it's not running, supposedly and theoretically, it closes that and prevents any fuel from overflowing that and getting into your cylinder and all that kind of stuff, because that's not a good thing. So I'm going to test this and see if it is malfunctioning. Now, I accidentally left my petcock on earlier this year, and it also had the same kind of petcock on it. It had the diaphragm and all of that, and that's when I learned that my diaphragm was defective and was not shutting it off in the event that, you know, maybe I forgot. So I'm going to test this and see what's going on. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this vacuum line off. So this is the hose that goes to the right cylinder. We're going to put that guy right there. I've put a little towel down here because I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to spill some fuel. And this is my fuel line. It goes to my carburetor. And I'm going to try to work this guy off. Sometimes they're really easy to get off, sometimes they're more complicated. It kind of sometimes depends on the age of your fuel line. If it's old and cruddy and it's been a while since it's been off, it may be a little harder to get off than others. I think I replaced this, but I can't swear it. Alright, so I'm going to have this cup here in case anything dribbles out. It shouldn't, but just in case. How can you not have to clean it up? So I'm going to go get a little piece of fuel line to put on this, and I'm also going to get a little thing to manipulate this vacuum port to keep going on this. Okay, I have a little piece of fuel line. It's probably vacuum line, whatever. It's on here. And I also have my little syringe and my little line hooked up to my vacuum line back here. So how this works is, when I turn this to on, because the bike is not running, theoretically nothing should come out. If something does come out, that means that there's a malfunction in the diaphragm. So let's take a look. Yep, on, pouring out. So that means that this is not working right, because you should have to pull a vacuum on this in order for that to let that out, and it's just coming out all on its own. The diaphragm is doing nothing to stop this, so that can actually be a bad thing. I mean, it's, like I said, it's a redundant system, and so some of them actually only have the diaphragm. They don't even have a lever on them. You can't even turn them off or on manually. It's solely just the diaphragm. So this is always a good thing to know how to check whether you have a lever, you don't have a lever. I mean, you can even check to see if it's, especially if you have a dark fuel line, like a black one, then you can check to even see if your petcock itself, even if you don't have the diaphragm, if it is shutting off the fuel when you turn it to off. It also has a little diaphragm in there. Kind of looks like a little smiley face sometimes. But that can also allow fuel to leak out even when you turn it off, even if you remember. So always good things to know how your petcock works and how to test that to make sure you can fix it or test it or whatever the case may be. If you want to know how your manual petcock works, it works like this. Fuel comes in here, it comes out here. When this lever is across, that's off. It's going across. Think of it as like cutting off the fuel flow. Now it can be, I have this screw loose, but it can either be up or it can be down. That's going to be on or reserve if you have those options. So here's how this comes apart. took these screws out so it wouldn't take me quite so long to take all of this apart. You're gonna have your little faceplate. It's gonna have your on-off reserve. You're gonna have this little wave washer here, and it is wavy on purpose. Some people call it a spring washer, however you wanna think of it. It's like this on purpose. It's not broken. It is this way for a reason, to cause pressure to hold this together. When you take this apart, this has a little O-ring here on this one. This is also a little rubber gasket. You'll notice that there's 3 holes because this has on, off, and reserve. It works because when this is in the off position, remember off is across, this larger part is blocking all 3 holes. When you turn this to on or reserve, this acts like a transfer port, and it allows fuel to go from one to the other. So if you're thinking about it, it's just a bridge basically. So you'll put this back in. These have to be in good condition or it will leak fuel. Also, when you put it back together, if you don't remember to put your wave washer right here and it goes on top of this, it will pour fuel everywhere. So that is how your manual petcock works. Henry's going to put up some videos so you can check out more Vintage Vixen at your leisure.